work of art. It does need to be cherished, it does need to be looked after. There are plenty of other cars that look fantastic, drive beautifully, but this car's got more than that.
Chassis 22 is, without any exception, probably one of, if not the most original preservation restoration being carried out as a UK ride and drive car.
It had never really been messed with by anybody. I mean, that's the important thing. A lot of cars that have been apart, somebody's already restored it, in which case you're getting somebody's interpretation of what that car was. Whereas this was everything you see is everything you get, really.
I believe it's one of one in the world, and I think it always will be, as long as it's in the right custodianship. It's top trumps.
So much love and so much effort and so much actually affection has been put into the car over the last, over 60 years. That all makes the car very special. And the people involved behind it, even the guy who was supposed to get the car, who didn't get it, doesn't know why he didn't get it. You've had one family owner who did 28,000 miles in it. You then had another owner, Paul, who spent 25 years restoring the car effectively, putting it back into the way it would have come out of the factory. I think there's a great sense of history about this car when you get into it. And you just feel as if you're being transported back into time.
It's my car. I'm sorry. It's my car. You stolen my car. I bought the 3.8 Mark II Jag. And one of my friends said to me, why don't we race it? Contrary to the agreement that I had with Lofty England, he would not enter any works team. He turns up with 6 cars driven by Graham Hill, all of the top Grand Prix drivers. I think it was as much as in compensation for that I got on the list. And then I went to Aintree. And I'm there in practice, and I've got Graham Hill pushing me behind. Yeah. He said, well, sir, if you can't drive fucking fast enough, then get out of the fucking way. So the next practice day, I tried to drive a bit faster, and I can't remember which corner, but I left the track and went backwards into a tree about 80 miles an hour.
And do you know why Lofty England, why you never got the E-Type Roadster?
Yeah, because I was at that stage, I was in recuperation, and it took me about 3-4 months to recuperate.
Yes, I remember it so well. And that row of buttons along the silver dash. It's been a lovely vehicle, and we both adored it. There was one occasion when I actually got in behind the wheel and drove it. He wasn't very pleased, but it was an interesting experience, and I didn't take it very far. And thinking about it after, it's a blooming silly thing to do anyway, really. But it was lovely, yes. So I didn't drive it anymore after that. It was his vehicle, very much his vehicle. So my husband sadly passed away in 2005. Just sad that we didn't get the pleasure of enjoying it in later life, which is what we had hoped. So, but these things happen.
really want the holy grail of E-types, and that is a 61 side latch roadster. You know, that's what it is. So I set about trying to find one. So I rang just about everybody that I knew that dealt with E-types in the UK, and I found a dealer that had one. And I left it for a few months, went back to him and said, look, what's it going to take to buy the car? Seriously, what would it take? And he sort of threw a silly price at me, and I gulped and thought, well, you know, when am I going to find another with this sort of provenance? You know, low mileage, one previous owner. Just everything about the car was made for not an easy restoration, but an accurate restoration. My outgoing job was at Jaguar Heritage. So the last 2 years there, I looked after E-Type reborn restoration. I was the program manager for that. And then before that, I was a body engineer, 32 years. So all the time that I was at Jaguar, in the back of my mind, I knew that I'd got this car and that it was going to take a lot of research. And I'd had this poor car in pieces for, 25 years or something. And I thought, if I don't get that car back on its feet, I don't know if anybody else will have recorded and understood the way I'd taken it apart.
When I first met the car and Paul, I went to Kenilworth to his house, and it was all upstairs in hundreds of pieces, all laid out on the carpet, in basically what would be the living room, I suppose, and everything down to chrome bezels and BSA bolts and GKN bolts down to original chromes. So I saw the car first in its most raw state of when he found the car, and then we collectively bounced ideas off each other and really geared and motivated each other to do the project. We were given the engine complete, gearbox and rear suspension, as well as we did all the CAD plating for the car as well, and some other bits and pieces along the way. So we did really the running gear of the car, and because my grandfather was the chief engineer of the E-Type, it seems sort of quite fitting for us to do the next sort of push on it.
I'd have to say that in this regard, I've been an anorak. I really have. In that I've been obsessive about part accuracy, part quality, and authenticity. I've been absolutely incessant, almost like I'd started on that track. So I'll start, so I've got to finish. Let's start at the front of the car somewhere, and we look at the headlamp itself. The headlamp is a PL700 Lucas unit, which is the so-called tripod headlamp. These are new old stock. I've got the car's original headlamps, which are a little bit grubby, but these are new old stock items in absolutely stunning condition. A nice little story. I was in the design studio at Jaguar about 25 years ago. One of the designers had opened his drawer and said to me, "You're a Jaguar man, you'd enjoy this, wouldn't you?" Gave me the emblem that's on the front of the car there. So it's new old stock. Never find another one like it. Absolutely amazing. And in the grille, probably can't see, but inside the grille are two caged weld nuts. They're one of the only visual cues to the car's competition history. So this was one of 18 cars originally allocated for racing, but the weld nuts in there are for the gearbox intercooler mounting, one of the only features on the car that you can see anyway. When Jaguar first started making these cars, they didn't think they were going to make very many of them. So the bonnet was tooled in two halves, the front half and the back half. There's a seam that runs all the way across, which is edge to edge welded and finished on both sides before painting. But that tells anybody who knows about these cars that this is a truly, genuine and authentic original car. Very rare for that to be in place. One of the features of all of the very early cars are the welded louvers on the bonnet. So you can see this. You can see a line here, which is because that panel with the louvers in it is inset into what would have otherwise been a bonnet just with a hole in it. Quite an unusual feature. And then this is probably the most obvious visual feature for the car. This side lock, which opens to give you access to open and close the bonnet, that side lock was only fitted to the first 93 right-hand drive cars. So it's quite rare, and that is the real signature for this car. It's why it's called a side lock or an open lock E-Type. This is showing you in operation. This little turn, and that's loose. Lift slowly, lift the safety catch, and there's the engine. One of the most important things is you open the bonnet, it looks absolutely stunning. And that's because in the day, Jaguar were very much focused upon this being a sports car, and people go into the showroom and say, oh my God, look at that, it's absolutely fantastic. So you've got polished aluminium. The cylinder head on the car being this pumpkin colour is unique to not only the 3.8 engines, but the very early engines as well. You've got all sorts of nuts and bolts on the car that I've taken a great deal of care in replicating. Everything is absolutely right. The nylock nuts are correct, the bolts are the correct colour, they're the correct finish, they're the correct length, etc., etc. The dynamo is date coded. Lots of the electrical underbonnet gear is date coded, even down to the brake light switch. It's got a little date code on it. And that process goes all the way through the wiper motor, the switch gear, even the rocker switches on the dash have got date codes on them. It's amazing what you can find. And all of this car has all of its original bits, and all the dates tie up with the date of manufacture of the car. It's quite a find overall. This is probably the only E-Type that I ever saw with a colour-coded hood side seal. So if we have a look at the car, we can see here the original side seal, which is faded, but in decent condition, but not really good enough to put in the car. It had faded, so nobody makes these because there isn't another E-Type with them on. I've never seen one before. What we did is we used a seal of an accurate type and had it cloth covered with an accurate red dobbin material, all handmade and made to replicate the seal exactly. And while we're here as well, I'll just show you the A-pillar seal. So a lot of E-Types have a problem with door shut loads because reproduction seals aren't sometimes particularly good quality. This car is fitted with a very early seal section, which I had some new old stock parts for, and this is one of the reasons why the car's doors shut properly. Well, it's kind of a reference car. So I'll tell you what the judges at Salon Privé said to me. They said that as a team, they viewed it as the best early reference E-Type in the world, which is a massive accolade. Well, it scares me to drive it because of my worry about damaging it. I actually would rather not go near it, if I'm really honest. You know, because I wasn't going to drive it because I'd had other E-Types and its condition was too good that if I'd even scratched, you know, one of the seats or marked anything, I'd have been really upset.
Nothing's too good to drive. I love using cars and driving them. I think cars' special preservation are, yes, they're there to educate. They are there to preserve true originality. And more and more you use a car, less originality is good to go again. So leather deteriorates, rubbers deteriorate. So if we use the car, there will naturally become a point where the car will have to be done again. If we can prolong that to educate the community of why it's so special, that's the better. But I do strongly feel the cars must be driven, not in a silly manner, but they must be exercised. A static object is a static object. A movable object is sculpture. So I think there's something there where you have something which is movable art, as well as pedigree and heritage.
It was so nostalgic driving that car as probably one of the only right and drive preservation OBL E-Types around an old airfield in Oxfordshire. Was probably that one moment in time you could just place yourself back into April 1961. It is the only E-Type I've driven which is still on its original elastic bushes. Every component of the car is exactly as it was.
it's not about hiding it into a garage and nobody seeing it. It's about actually people seeing this great car with this great history, with this great soul, with character. It needs to be put in the right place at the right time, and all of the ambience and the atmosphere that comes with it.
So,
Okay.
ace for your eyes. I'm going to take the cover off, and first time in what, 40, 50 years?
Yes, yes. Was nearer 60 actually. Well, no, I was 50. Yes, yes.
Here we
Yeah.
go then.
Here we go.
Oh, it's lovely.
Is it how you
Gosh,
remember
yes,
it?
it made me quite teary. Ooh.
Yeah, is it how you
Yes,
remember it?
yes.
Because we were lucky enough, because the car was a low mileage car,
Yes.
we were able to save the red leather
Oh,
in its
brilliant.
entirety. So those are the exact same seats that you would have sat on
Yeah.
in the day. The leather is
Yes.
the same leather.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Years ago, I gave them the keys because the key fob, I'll show you, is it's your husband's original key
Oh,
fob.
my
So
goodness
it
me.
stayed with the car
Oh,
all
brilliant.
this time.
How
And
fabulous.
just lovely little things like that that have
Yeah.
survived with the car, just
Yeah.
made it really special.
Feet in first.
Bottom first,
Yes.
and mine were well done.
There you go. I wasn't too bad though.
We're in the car with the same pistons, the same valves, the same crankshaft as was originally put in there in 1961. Frankly, it's unbelievable. These cars were just made to be driven.